figuring out who the right lawyer is for you, that's a really, really difficult question. And it's not something that any one person can answer for you because it's really such a personal experience. You have to deal with this person, right, for generally speaking, 9, 12, 18 months, sometimes more. And the reality is, if you don't like that person, or if you don't trust that person right in the beginning, do you really think that's going to get better as you move through? If you have reservations on day 1, when you get to month 9, do you think those reservations are going to be better or worse? Because the reality is, in that 9 months of time, using that as the example, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be times where you as a client are going to go, does my lawyer really know what they're doing? What's going on? Are they not fighting hard enough? And the answer to that is generally, yeah, they know what they're doing. And yes, they're fighting hard, okay? But what happens is these insurance companies, they generally know that, right? And I'm going to talk directly about insurance companies because that's the bulk of what we do, right? Is deal with insurance companies and car crashes. And sometimes on the defense side, what you do is you try to drive a wedge between the plaintiff's attorney, plaintiff being you, and the attorney, right? So that it destroys the trust, right? So you got to know that going in, that there's going to be these ups and downs, right? So just because the other side gives you a lowball offer, they offer you $1 on your case, doesn't mean your lawyer's doing a bad job, okay? Now, if that lawyer says, take that dollar and the case is worth $1 million, and yeah, that lawyer's probably doing a bad job, right? But just know and understand that that's one of the things that can happen. They try to drive that wedge. So if you have reservations on day 1 and that defense side tries to drive that wedge in, what are those reservations going to look like as you move through and those things start happening? So you really have to get to know that attorney, have conversations with them, pick their brain, ask whatever questions you want to ask. I'd want to know, what's your experience? Not just, hey, where'd you go to law school? But what's your actual real life practical experience? Do you go to trial, right? And that's not to say that you as a client necessarily wants to go to trial for your case, but in my opinion, and it's solely an opinion, the lawyers who go to trial are generally better lawyers all around. Because what you do, and if you don't learn from trials, right, you're kind of doing it wrong. There always should be a learning moment takeaway as a lawyer from going to trial. And what that should do in the future is strengthen how you handle other cases. Okay, hey, this is how I approach this. This is how the other side attacked us on this. Now, how do I make sure that that attack is bulletproof, right? That they can't penetrate that we can get around that, okay? Because they're always gonna have some way to attack something. You're never going to have 100% shield up to prevent the defense from attacking you in some way, right? The more you go to trial, the more you see these little nuanced pieces you can pick out and go, okay, they did this in this situation, so we're gonna do this over here so that they can't do that, right? We know that we're gonna have some bad facts for us, but we want to minimize those and we wanna focus on the good facts for us and bury those bad facts, or maybe we can make those bad facts go away if we go, hey, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. So there's a lot of pieces that we can look at to do that. And that, in my opinion, is why having a lawyer that has trial experience is really the best way to go. And look, there are massive firms. There are firms that do tons and tons of advertising. There are the firms that their name rolls off the tip of your tongue and they're the first one that you think about. But what you need to consider as you're trying to decide who the right lawyer is for you is, who's the lawyer that I'm actually going to be working with on the day-to-day basis? Is it going to be that person that's face of that massive firm? Probably not. It's probably going to be somebody else. So you have to understand and figure out, do I like the person that's handling my individual case? Not necessarily who the most popular is or who has the biggest billboards or the most billboards or the most TV commercials. Look, TV, we all know TV's not always 100% real, right? I think we know that, those of us, even reality TV isn't 100% real. I got some buddies who've been on it. I know the inside scoop, it's not all real. Spoiler alert. So, that said, take it for what it's worth. When you see those massive firms on TV, you're probably not going to be talking to that person who you've seen on TV. You're gonna be talking to somebody else. Get to know that person, okay? So whether you go to that big firm, try to be able to talk to and get to know that attorney is going to be handling your case. If you go to a smaller firm like mine, look, generally speaking, you're going to talk to me, right? Yeah, I don't answer the phones. I have a receptionist, okay? But if you want to talk to me, I'm available. And I review every single case in the office. So I know every single client that's in the office. And it's not because we don't do a lot of cases, because we do a lot of cases at one time, okay? But I take the time to know and understand every single case. Big firms that you see, the ones that roll off the tip of your tongue, are the people that you're seeing actually reviewing your case. My guess is no, okay? Could be wrong. I don't want to get a letter from any of them saying how dare you, right? Just know, my guess is that those upper level, the ones that you're seeing, the face, if you will, not reviewing your case. I am, okay? And I know that holds true for a lot of firms. So you have to figure out, do you want a big firm or do you want a more personalized small firm? Those are the types of things that as you're thinking about it and going, okay, I need to hire a lawyer for this problem, whether it's a car crash or a business dispute or a slip and fall or an employment issue. Think about those things, because the things that I'm describing really are important for every type of law, no matter what it is. If you liked this video and you found that it gave you some good information about how to hire a lawyer, please like and subscribe to The Law Father.